My beard! My beard's missing! Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's still me. I know. Look, I look older or younger. I don't know. The beard's protecting the skin. The skin is good, though. Welcome to another episode of Entertainment 411. I'm your host, Fareed, yes, Danny, and we're back with another casting director today. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a multiple CSA-nominated casting director. She has been on a roll lately, working on. You've seen her in your inbox. You've taped for her projects. She's the casting director of everyone's favorite, Harold and Kumar. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Nicole Hilliard-Forde. Hello. And look, there's Harold and Kumar in the background. Boom. I'm a little mad. I did tape for Kumar, but I was 12, so I didn't get the part. No, actually, I don't know how old I was. It was definitely before I was in the industry. But yeah, when I saw that movie, I was like, oh, this could be me. This was one of, Cal Penn was one of the reasons I was like, oh, I could actually be an actor. This is a possibility. This is great. This is fun. But anyways, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Hi. We're here just going to chat. We're going to chop it up. We're just going to talk about some of the projects you've worked on and are currently working on, what your favorite color is, what you like to eat, where you like to go, what do you hate about actors, what do you love about actors, all that good stuff. First, we're just going to play a quick little clip of one of the projects you've worked on. Since I mentioned it, Charlene, why don't we show the Harold and Kumar clip for those who have forgotten what this beautiful movie was. Here it is right now. Harold and Kumar. Boom.
Hey, there's your girlfriend. You actually gonna talk to her this time?
I sure got a lot of baggage.
Harold never got too far with the ladies.
The only girls who are interested in me are girls I have no interest in.
Kumar never got much respect.
What kind of name is that anyhow, huh? Kumar. What's up, like 5 O's or 2 U's?
But tonight,
In the next couple of hours, I expect both of us to be blitzed out of our skulls.
they're going on a trip
Get up, we're going to White Castle. We're starving.
they'll never remember.
I forgot my cell phone.
You wanna run back and get it?
No, we've gone too far.
This summer,
Just thinking about those tender little White Castle burgers just makes me want to burn this mother down. Come on, Boogie, let's burn this mother down!
they're going to discover what they're made of.
Think you could help me with this?
Whoa, those aren't real. Yes, they are.
What they're up against,
Thank you, come again.
and who they're dealing with.
Are you Neil Patrick Harris?
Yep. Oh, you're just gonna drive around looking for White Castle.
Forget White Castle. Let's go get some strippers.
Lap dance.
So you think this is just about the burgers, huh? It's about far more than that. This night is about the American dream.
You want some brownies?
New Line Cinema presents That Asian Guy from American Pie
Did Neil Patrick Harris just steal my car?
Yes.
and That Indian Guy from Van Wilder.
Thank God I found you. We have an emergency.
Do you happen to know how to get to the White Castle?
Yeah.
But why?
From that white guy who directed
Dude, where's my car?
Where's his car, dude?
Thank you, come again. Things are finally starting to go our way.
Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
Well, since we're all here, how about a foursome?
I forgot how wild that movie was. Anthony Anderson, Sophie. I'm gonna burn this motherfucker down. I love that shit. Yeah, wow, what a project that was. Tell us, is that like, give me the backstory. Like, first of all, let's talk about you as a casting director. We always talk about this. Casting directors' journeys are always so convoluted. There's no casting director school of Canada. You just sort of fall into it somehow or the other through different means. What was your journey, Nicole, into like becoming a casting director?
Oh my God, how much time do you have? It's
An hour.
it's always, it is truly always an epic journey for people to get to casting. For me, I was a pre-med student going to McGill for neurobiology to be an assistant. So I had my head squarely in academics and in the medical profession. But I had been, prior to my university years, I had been a dancer.
Okay.
And my parents are immigrants. So I was like, you know, one of those A-type students, got really good grades. I was moving towards the medical profession because my parents pretty much insisted that's what I was supposed to do. And then I said, hey, I love, you know, dancing, and I did ballet and modern dance. And so as well as academics, I was dancing. My heart, my soul, my passion were being fulfilled and trained in dance. And I ended up being a performer and performing all across Canada in a modern dance troupe from when I was 8 to 15. Like at the same time, I was in school getting grades, like super scholarship, you know, kind of pathway. And I was just doing what my parents said that I should do. But I ended up going to university for a couple of years and just going, you know what, like this is not my tribe. These soon to be surgeons, they are not my tribe.
Right.
Where are people at? And I went into the theater department at McGill and said, give me any job whatsoever while I'm doing biochemistry during the day. I need to be around artists. I need to be around playwrights, actors, directors, designers. And so I started just living this double life of fulfilling academics during the day, doing artistic endeavors at night. And I basically sat myself beside the director. So I went from dance to being a stage manager for theater. So I myself was a performer. Then I went into stage management and sat beside the director in theater. And I listened and absorbed everything that was going on and archived the process. Did that for dance as well, was a dance stage manager as well. And then I started, I'm going to date myself, but like I'm watching like DVD. Does your audience know what a DVD is anymore?
I think so. They're not that.
Okay. I was
Sorry, watching these on floppy disk will have a problem, but DVD's fine. Tapes are when you're really aging yourself, like VHS.
Not VHS, but like DVDs. I was going to like a rental shop and renting DVDs, and I was renting films from the US, China, UK, Quebec, France, and I was absorbing international cinema through DVD rentals, and I was also attending TIFF every year because
Nice.
Toronto is just an international film city. So as I was watching these films like Paris is Burning and The Piano and The Ice Storm and True Romance and what else? The Descent, Requiem, the Basketball Diaries, I started seeing that there's a role called the casting director on these credits. What are they? Who are they and what are they doing? I've never heard of this before. But I started to understand that I was actually following the work and the POV of casting directors and producers. And I just tapped into the fact that I'm noticing in the work that there is a point of view in some of the things I'm watching, not all of them. And Patricia Rozema, When Night is Falling, like we're going late 90s, we're getting late 90s, early 2000s. And I just noticed that there was a point of view and that there was a heady, you know, intellectual endeavor mixed with activism, mixed with art and aesthetics. And I was like, sign me up. Just sign me up. How do I do this? How do I get in? What do you do? And I remember approaching this casting director named Ross Clydesdale, who was working on a show called Queer as Folk, a remake of The British. And I remember going and saying, like, how do you get into casting? How do you do this? And then I met somebody named Claire Walker, who's a very well-respected Canadian casting director. And I told her my story. I told her my background. And she said, give me your resume. You know, when there's an opening, I'll see what I can do. And then she passed my resume on, and I got a job as a casting assistant and then worked my way up. So, you know, yes, it's always a long, winding road to casting.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's quite the journey. And now you're here. Now you're casting. You're like killing it. We're seeing your stuff in our inboxes. Like that's why we're here, because we don't know who the face behind Nicole Hilliard-Forde is.
Yeah.
And we do. Former dancer, former theater buff, theater manager, stage manager, now casting director. It's a journey. You see people who are actors who become casting directors. You see producers who become casting directors. I see you got the CSA in the background. Congratulations. Akila's escaped. You want a CSA for casting on that. How is that? What's the difference between, what do you find the difference between casting features versus television? Is there anything that you find is more challenging? Is it easier, harder? Do you have more say? You know what I mean? Or more people involved? Just Nicole's notes.
Oh my God.
For my audience members.
Easier and harder. I mean, it's always going to be a road of discovery to what the aesthetics and the language of the piece is. So every single piece is different. That's what I love about casting. Every single job I work on is a new adventure of discovery between artists and my colleagues. So it's never dull. Like every time it's new. And I don't have a preference for a genre, and I don't have a preference for film or TV. Like it's just the piece, the writing, the point of view, the people. Do we all connect or do we not connect? So what makes it difficult is if I'm being asked to do a show where it's like I'm not connecting with the words and I'm not connecting with the point of view and I'm not connecting, that would make it difficult. What makes it incredibly easy, delicious is when someone's sending me a script and I'm like, wow, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. And like, I want to get inside of whatever their perspective is. So it doesn't matter the genre, it doesn't matter if it's film, doesn't matter if it's television. It's just like, does this speak to me? And do I understand your point of view? And can I get really behind that and rally for you and then bring other people into the fray who are going to feel the same way and lift up the project?
Absolutely. The process is generally the same. It's just different pieces for sure.
Yeah.
Question from the audience. Hello, Kelly. Kelly Buell. Kelly Buell. I like that name. Beautiful. Kelly, love the photo. What's up, girl? What you doing? What do you love most about casting? This is a great, simple question, but a question that's not asked often. What do you love about casting? What do you love about your job, Nicole?
Oh my God. I love so many things about it. I love that every time I go to work, I'm working with artists and we are interpreting work and we are going to send it out and people are going to watch it. Like that whole kind of pipeline of starts with the words and it ends up being this audiovisual thing that people are watching together or alone. Like that we make something and it ends up being something that we can say, oh, we made that. Number two, just meeting new artists every time. Every time I work on a project, I start from scratch in my mind in terms of, I'm like, there's nobody that I'm like slotting into the roles in a predetermined manner. I'm sort of availing myself to the experience of newness coming in, like fluidity and like things I haven't seen before. I'm always open. And so just this, I'm watching tape after tape after tape after tape after tape. And I love that. I don't know if everybody, but I can sit and watch 500 tapes and be, like a light because of it. Because I'm watching 500 iterations of the same scene, but everybody's putting their own little different, unique interpretation and spin on it. And I'm looking for the thing that matches the creator of the work, vision, and also what I'm going to bring to it, which is like, what about this? What about something you haven't seen before? What about, this is a different way of interpreting this. How authentic is this? Right.
I have a question. I find as an actor, we're in a very precarious situation now. Obviously, like we're an instrument. We are, some of self-proclaimed artists. We're these sort of people that have words and we have to bring them to life on a page. We get for those who are new and breaking out, it's the simple process of casting puts out a call. semi-handsome brown guy, 35, and then my agent's like, oh, my client's semi-handsome. Send it out, and then he submits me, and then we get multiple submissions. You then filter through and invite us to select to do the tapes. Now, the question I have, I guess, is what can an actor do? Because especially, it's a two-part question. We're going to dive into something that's, I ask all our casting directors. We're in like a new age right now where everything is self-tapes. It's quite difficult now and rare to be in the room, and there's some pros and cons. Pros are you're probably seeing a lot more tapes, a lot more easy, it's a lot more accessible for actors, you're not missing out. Cons are you're not really getting that aura, the flavor, the personality in the room, and the live direction, which is something that I really love as a casting director would provide. So I guess the first question is, what can an actor do on their tapes, whether it be multiple takes or like what can they do when they get a breakdown from you to give them the best opportunity to be one of the few that you present to production, or something that gets you on their radar? Like obviously other than being good as an actor, like you said, you tapes, like what can make them stand out, a certain project, what helps, you know what I'm saying? I know I asked a lot of questions.
I mean, I find that, if you need to have script analysis skills, and so if you haven't been taught script analysis or you haven't delved into that yourself, then you might be swimming around in like, oh, what do I do with this? What do I do with this? What do I do with this? So script analysis, which is a very old school, traditional way of breaking down what the writer's words mean. I think actors who have that ability do better. Also, you'll also get sides in scripts and scenes where it's not very deep or profound. And you're going to have to apply something to the self-tape audition where you add something in that isn't necessarily there, because sometimes things are incredibly dense and layered, and there's a lot of different subtextual things happening for the character, and then sometimes the text isn't like that. And so the actors that do well in the sphere that I work in are adding in layers and layers of a kind of a deep psychology. They're like adding something into their character to give light and dark. They're allowing their character to be flawed. They're allowing their character to be raw.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to play one of her most other recent projects with a former colleague of mine. Oh, I'm going to choke to death. Former colleague of mine, Patrick J. Adams, who she casted in The Swearing Jar. So Charlene, let's take a look at that trailer. Here's a teaser.
I'm going to begin with the first song that I ever wrote for Simon. It's called Too Smart. I awkwardly smiled. I have some news. You awkwardly knew.
Are you...
No more swearing. We have to be role models from now on.
Holy frickin' poo!
$5 in the cursing jar.
Oh, I hope you weren't smoking on the lawn.
I wasn't smoking. I was quitting. What's the news?
3 months later, my too smart love.
I swear I will never, ever love anyone else.
Babe, you're in the window.
I can't hear you. Sorry, what are you writing?
Lyrics.
Do you write songs?
I'm more of a singer.
I'm wondering if maybe you'd want to grab a coffee with me sometime.
Oh, wow. I can't.
Do you want to play music with me?
I don't believe in collaboration.
And yet it exists.
I have been playing around with some lyrics.
So you've been playing around with lyrics to my song? I've been thinking about you a lot.
You're honest, aren't you? You're a good person. Oh my God.
You wanna know what destroyed my marriage? Secrets.
Are you going through something? I mean, is there something on your mind?
Secrets are a bit of a deal breaker for me. Lies even more so.
It's not that simple. What's that? Are you cheating on me? Swear to me.
What?
Swear to me that everything is okay, that we're gonna be okay.
Okay, I swear.
We fight and we fall. We get drunk, we get smart.
Listen to me. I like you.
Everything was going so well. It took me so long to find my way, and when I'm with you, I feel like I'm lost.
What's wrong with being lost?
Make the heroes, 'cause you've already quit, but you cannot contest. I have won.
It's a rare and miraculous thing to find your one true soulmate.
Yeah, we were talking about the casting process, correct? And, you know, what we can do to better our chances. And you're talking about, obviously, script analysis, getting subtext, subplot, deeper character thoughts. So, yeah, if you have anything else you want to add on that, let me know.
The only thing I would say about that is that David Mamet, who's such a renowned, respected...
Glenn Glasgow's favorite.
Yeah. He said all drama is based on lies, and so it's worth it to just go down a bit of a rabbit hole there in terms of what he's saying about that, because, you know, for me, when I'm watching auditions and I'm reading text and script, like when characters are saying everything they're thinking, I don't find that very authentic. And I don't find that very natural, and I don't find that very human. I find that we as human beings, we think thoughts, and we have feelings, but we don't necessarily say those words out loud. We sometimes say the opposite of what we're thinking and feeling. And it's the interplay of what the character's thinking and feeling and what they actually say in the scenes that produces an incredible amount of dynamism. So sometimes it's just laden in, and you can just, oh God, just keep playing with that. And sometimes you have to put it there because it's not there. And so actors that I find that end up booking or getting the attention of the creator of the work or the director, are actors who are doing that extra step, and they're just putting in that extra bit of intentionality into what they're doing. And, you know, and anybody can get it. Anybody can book it. Anybody can be this role, you know, as long as they're really focused in it. So
yeah,
does that help? Does that help?
Yeah, no, it does. It's a great way to put it. It's always a battle. I like that, what you said. It's a battle of the mind versus mouth, essentially, of like what we're thinking versus what we're saying. No one has anything planned out. No one is perfect. And I think that's what your point is. It's nice to have a little bit of chaos. It's like me when I talk about, like, when I see an actor who just starts crying and like bawling, and it's like for me, I'm like, I know it's just like, no, it's like for me, it's like, oh, you're just like showing how good of an actor you are. But for me, I prefer to see the people who are struggling not to cry in front of the person. They're holding it back, and doing everything in their power not to cry in front of this person. And then all of a sudden, if it gets to that point, the tears start to come. That to me is more powerful. It's human. It's human. It's what we do. We don't want to perform tears. Tears are as a result of stress, strain, of emotion that we're trying to hold in. So that's a really great perspective. And I think actors, we definitely need to remember that training we have, but also throw it away at the end, because otherwise it's the weirdest job in the world. It's the one thing that I say is, being an actor, it's a job that if you're caught doing your job, you're doing your job wrong.
I love that.
Super weird.
I love that.
It's a super weird concept. We have a lot of questions from the audience. Everyone was waiting for you patiently, even though you were gone. They were still here. They're still tuned in. So that's great.
Endless.
Yeah, we love you. So thank you, Nicole, once again. Here's one from my good buddy, Brock Morgan. It's going to cover our screen, so forgive me. Boom, here we go. Look at Brock. Can you talk a bit about the shortlist process from a casting perspective? As an actor, all we get is you're on the shortlist and given the outside dates. Is there typically a first choice during the shortlist process? And if so, would you share that with an agent? So me and have talked about that before. It's like we were like trying to deep dive. Another part of it was like, is there a difference between being shortlisted or being on hold? Like, oh, you're on hold. Is it the same thing? Are there different wordings for it? It's a very vague area as an actor.
Okay, well, I'm sure every casting director is using this language specifically. So for me, if I say, I don't use the language of on hold, I use the language of shortlist. And I'm not really going to bother telling an agent unless there's 3.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm saying, Farid, you're on the short list for this project, for this role, I'm saying you're one of 3 people.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not necessarily going to say you're number 1 or 2 or 3. No, because the reasons why people are 1, 2, or 3 oscillate and vacillate in the production.
Because they don't know.
It's just like, it's different reasons. Like, it's like paintings, matching. It's like residency, like where you live. It's like, do we have to fly you in or out? You know, it's like, there's 3 of you. You're amazing. You fit into the world. And now it's like these other decisions have to come into play. And then, so shortlisting to me is an amazing thing to be on. Like, to be working and hearing that you're on the short list when you're taping and you're recalling and you're on the short list, and then you're on another short list, and then you're on another short list. That's a really good indicator of where you are sitting in the industry.
For sure. I try to talk my friends off the bridges whenever we hear it. And even myself, you know, being an actor is hard. It's sort of the job you have to keep applying for, even though you've done it before. It's, imagine telling a doctor, it's like, great, good job. Now tell me again why you should be a doctor. Like, it's hard. But yeah, I think what hearing it from you is very reassuring, because that's the thought that we always initially think, and then our subconscious goes, oh my God, no, it's because my beard's they don't like me. I'm from Toronto and the thing shoots up north. And it's like, if you're getting called back for the same project multiple times, if you're being shortlisted a lot, if you're just getting auditions, it's a good thing about your career, and your career is going in the right direction. And it's just a matter of the right project sticking.
It is.
Yeah. More questions from the audience. This is great. Very interactive show today. Maya Michaels. Hi, Maya. How are you? When you watch tapes, do you know in the first seconds if the actor captures what the role is needed, and then continue to watch the full reel? And also, do you like multiple takes? 2-part question.
I don't know in the first few seconds if the actor captures what the role needs, because there's a scene, and the scene has words in it, and I'm listening. As much as I'm watching for the painting, I'm also listening to how the actor's carving out the text. And I'm listening to the deep, deep, deep words, and the deep meaning, and the deep contradictions, and the deep paradoxes. So I need to hear the actor carving out the text throughout the scene. And if there are multiple takes, I love it. Like, if the actor's carving out the scene and there's a whole other version of it, that's great. But if they've done the whole thing and it's kind of flatlining, then the multiple take, unless it's different, it's not really going to serve. So love multiple takes if this actor is really getting into the meat and juice of the character. I can't tell in the first few seconds. No. I need to hear them do their take. I need an actor to interpret the role and do their take. And I watch that and I listen to that deeply, and then I decide if it's in the zone.
Right. That's one of my, I guess, things that I can't think right now because my dog is barking. Quiet, Nico. This is not your show. Yes, there's a cat on camera. Stop it. Multiple takes is what I do now, because we don't get the direction in the room, obviously, because, you know, everything's self-taped. So I think that's a good way to show casting. Because I think one of the biggest skills to have as an actor is to show that you can take direction, but also show that you have multiple. Because, you know, when you do television, you're doing the same scene, and they want different things to you so that you can edit around the different takes and the different versions. So multiple takes is great, and I'm sure you can agree, because it gives you more to, like, okay, they didn't get the first one, but the second one is more of the genre. This is more of the painting. You could send that one to production as opposed to the
Exactly. First one. I can choose, and then I can choose. I can say, oh, I love that second take, and so when I send it to my clients, I'm sending the second take because you gave me some good, juicy different things.
The next time I get a breakdown from you, I'm going to send you 14 different versions. And I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Don't do it. No. Don't do that, guys. Okay. Nicole has a life outside of this. JD. Hello, JD. Sir Sally, how are you? Well, I don't know why I'm doing weird accents. I'm hyperactive. What would be the worst thing for an actor to do during their audition with you? This is a great question. It's super simple, but what's the worst thing they can do other than not know their lines? Because that's an obvious one.
Yeah, I mean, it's just saying putting in excuses for why you can't do your audition, as in this has happened, this has happened, this has happened, so my audition is going to be weaker because I'm this, I'm that, and this happened, and this happened. And it's like, we don't know any of those things. We didn't know. We don't need to know. Like, we aren't, like, you can just do your audition and it's fine. Like, you don't have to put in a caveat for why you're not putting in your best interpretation or your best lay down. It's fine. Like, just do your best, period.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't explain why you can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a lot of times, again, it's a lot of actors shooting themselves in the foot. So, you know, that's something that happens all the time. What was I going to say? As far as, here's a good question. I had this in the back of my head and now I lost it. Oh, yes. What I was going to ask you about the audition process.
Mm-hmm.
Is there something to be said about the network that the show is on, or the other work that the director has done, the producer has done, that sort of helps with the auditions process? Like something that you as an actor can go and look at their work and say, okay, this is the kind of stuff that they've done before. For example, if it's like a Hallmark movie, do you find that there's obviously a stylistic way of doing an audition, and that can also play a part? Like, hey, like, you know what, this show is going to be on a certain network, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's tone. And I think that I like to convey tone when I send out my auditions. I like to give as much information as I possibly have about tone. So I'll ask my clients, creators of the work, like, what is this like in terms of tone? And then they'll give me different things, sort of like this, or like this, or like this. And I'm like, okay, that's helpful. Like, sometimes people read their sides and their scenes and they're just like, I really can't tell if this is funny or not, because it's not funny for them. But it's a comedic thing. So I like to provide tone. I like to, in my self-tape request, say, no question is too small. Like, from the time you get your audition to the time you send it in, your agent can flip me an email at any time and ask me any question, no matter how small. In this moment, when the character says this and that, like, I couldn't tell if they were referring to this, that, and the other. Were they or were they not? And I'll just flip them an email and be like, yes, no, maybe so. Or I'll ask the director or a writer.
I love that. That's really helpful.
I just try to give as much information as humanly possible that's possible to be given when you're auditioning, and like, everybody's supposed to be given kind of the same information, and then you watch everyone's interpretation and the iterations of what comes back. So yeah.
This is an interesting one, because I hear mixed results on this, mixed reviews. I feel like there's more to being an actor than just putting tapes down and submitting it to casting. Like, it's a business, obviously, and at the end of the day, we're trying to market ourselves. So what's your thoughts on, like, agents who are advocating for their clients? Do you like that sort of involvement? Do you like that? Do you hate that? For example, you're shooting a project and someone has worked with the director recently. Are you, like, turned off by, like, the agent being like, hey, I really hope you guys take, like, especially if we haven't seen you before or what have you, hey, I really would love you if you could take a closer look at so-and-so. He's recently worked with so-and-so, blah, 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 stuff like that. Is that something that you, like, encourage?
I rely on that.
Perfect.
I rely on that. My relationship with the agents that I've known now for 25 years is essential to how I do what I do. And I have certain relationships with certain agents where they can call me and they can say, you really need to see this person. They haven't done very much. They're coming from this left field or that left field. But I think you should just really check them out. And they're tapping into my aesthetic, and I'm tapping into their great reputation for people. And, like, the connection between when they say this thing about this actor, it's true. And I can rely on that, and then they can rely on the information I give them about the projects I'm working on, and we're just all communicating on a deep level about what we're making. So yes, please, your agent definitely needs to have a relationship with me, and I need to have a relationship with your agent, and the relationship has to be bona fide, real, have street credibility, and be able to be, tested over time, where it's like, the things that I say are true and the things that you say are also true. And we just develop this relationship. And that is how I can't believe any other casting director isn't operating that same way, that I am calling an agent and saying, I'm looking for this role. It's kind of tricky because the role is this and this and this, you know? And I'm not sure I've seen it yet, so I need to find out if it's out there. And I'm appealing to a 25-year relationship with an agent, if we've been in the same, in the business the same amount of time, to say, I know how you, I know your eye as an agent, and you know my eye as a casting director. So all these conversations are essential.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The collaboration, and we rely on, it's your jobs. And, people don't realize that casting directors are also trying to make ends meet. And, you're also hustling for the next project and the next project, and you have to have success. It's not that there's this hierarchy and to be scared. Same thing with your agent. Your agent only gets paid until you get paid or one of their other clients get paid. So there's a shared hustle in our business. To your point, collaboration would only benefit every party, each and every party. We're going to take a quick break, guys, and we're going to lighten up the conversation, get to know Nicole a little bit more before we take off. Here's, like I mentioned earlier, a quick teaser of the project that I worked on. It's called Day Players, guys. Please check it out. It is on YouTube. We got over 50K views total. I think it's good. I got long hair and a beard, so there's that. And again, I was talking about encouraging other artists to create their own projects. So I encourage you guys to create your own work and get your stuff out there. It's the best way to give yourself a calling card. So right here on YouTube, this is Day Players. Take a quick look. Bam!
You are a born protagonist. Look at you. You're a failed professional.
Okay, I wouldn't say failed.
You're finding bastion of hope in a rundown old school.
I mean, it's not that bad.
It just happens to be shared by the only woman who ever broke your heart.
What did you do?
Shh. Just watch.
I've got a lot of auditions lined up. So many auditions.
I can imagine. I can relate. I'm having so many bookings. It's like a library, just books everywhere.
That's right. You're looking at the host of Canada's Next Great Handyman.
I nailed my audition, bro. They said they'd call me.
Guys, I'm going to be the host of Canada's Next Great Handyman.
You are looking at the host of
Right over
Okay, I'm feeling a little bit of hostility from you right now.
Oh, please mansplain it to me so I can understand it better.
Clearly you don't know what mansplaining is. Let me break it down for you.
He's dead.
Which is the purest and greatest form of theater? Improvisation.
Told you I would eat you. I told you I would eat. Woo! Let's go!
I cannot watch this anymore. This is agony.
That was Dave.
My objective, my game here, is not to keep you in perpetual classes. My game here is to get you camera ready so that when the opportunity arises for you to compete for a role, you get the role. And you are so incredibly efficient and effective on set that, oh my gosh, you're called back in to read again and again and again. You're invited back to the party again and again and again. That, to me, is what a good class should be all about. Getting you to the point where you don't need a class. And if I play my cards right, and if you guys do your job right, hopefully it won't be long before that's the case.
About 6 months ago, we picked up an intercept.
Raise the threat level. Double up protection.
White House is going to want action.
Don't you have a guy on the inside? He's gone silent. For all I know, he's gone over to the other side.
I need to know the truth.
The truth is complicated. Do you realize how far I've gone to protect your identity? Nobody knows you even exist.
When deception is your greatest weapon.
There's been a bombing in Spain.
We should be concentrating on the one suspect that we have.
Every move is life or death.
Where are you from? All over. That's an encrypted phone. Nobody can listen in.
Including the FBI?
Especially the FBI.
This August.
We need to find him before this happens again.
I think he's leading us on a goose chase.
How far are you willing to take this?
the only person he can trust.
This is a war. You do what it takes to win.
Is himself.
You know what you sound like, right?
Remember who you answer to.
Coming soon. No, it came and it was good. Another big project Nicole worked on, Trader. The first project was a fake acting class, and the one after was a real acting class. So nicely packaged together. Guys, we're back with Nicole Hilliard-Forde. Thank you for joining us today, Hilliard. Nicole, thanks for joining us today, Hilliard. I'm going to call you Hilliard, just the first part of your half name. First part of your last name. We're going to wrap it up with just some nice, easygoing questions because we did the whole deep dive and meat and potatoes question about casting, but we want to know who Nicole is. What for you is a perfect day? If you woke up, other than casting, you can't pick your job because that's too cheesy. If you could wake up and you could just do anything you want to do, what would it be?
Oh my God. Like I'm a huge gardener and I'm really into planting food and flowers. So I have a real passion for growing food in any space whatsoever. Just become very inspired by people who are doing that. And you don't need to have like acreage and like tons of space. Like you can just grow food in your little planter in your back deck, you know, in your front lawn. Like you can have beautiful flowers and stick some Brussels sprouts in there, and you can just like grow tomatoes and like just create a very sustainable situation for yourself and others that you know, people don't need to be starving, basically. So I'm really passionate about that, and as I've gotten older, I've really taken an interest in that. And so you can often just find me outside moving plants around and really putting my hands in the dirt, I would say.
Yeah. That's super serene and like relaxing and meditative. Is that a word? Meditative?
Yes.
Did you hear about, you see that like that there's that like place in Switzerland that has, it's like a giant vault and it has little like seeds of every fruit and vegetable that exists. It's so cool. Like in the event of like a global like catastrophe, they have like a backup seed bank, which is awesome. I'm going to diverge just because we have another question from the audience. First, Brock, day players. I'll have to check it out. It looks familiar. Yes, you're in it, Brock. We know.
Looks really good.
Next one. Johnathan, a longtime listener, long-time engager. Thanks, buddy, for being back. We love you, Johnathan. On a similar note about agents pitching, when an agent submits a self-tape and they attach an e-pitch, which I've never really done, actually, I don't think, will you look at the e-pitch or just focus on the tape? First of all, for those who don't know, what is an e-pitch, Nicole?
I don't get e-pitches. I get self-tapes.
Yeah.
This self-tape has like a little portion where you can say, "Hi, my name's Nicole, and I live in Ancaster, and well, I hope you enjoy my tape," or like a little intro. Then it's the audition.
Yeah.
Then it's the takes, and then maybe your demo reel.
Right. Yeah.
I don't get e-pitches on the platforms that I use, so I'm not too sure what else would be in an e-pitch.
Yeah, great question, Johnathan. I've never heard of it. I wonder if it's just like, hey, what's up? I'm Fareed. This is why you should cast me. Number one, like, I would think that would be an e-pitch.
I'm not too sure.
Super turn off. It goes like, who is this douche? All right, next. So yeah, no e-pitches, guys. That's the.
Well, I don't even know what that is. What is an e-pitch? Because if it's not the intro to yourself in your own words, "Hi, I'm Fareed," and then lay down the takes and then your demo. I'm not sure what else you're sending.
I'm sure. I think Johnathan means maybe it's like it's actually what I thought, like just someone talking.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming. Johnathan, maybe in the comments you can let us know what you mean by e-pitch. But then to that point, do you like your slate at the beginning? Do you like it at the end, separate, or it doesn't matter?
I just need it as a separate video file because everybody does it so differently.
Yeah.
And I love my presentation to my clients to be all very, consistent. So as long as you give me your slate separate, your take separate, your demo separate, then I can go in, or my associate can go in on the back end, and everybody that we present is all in the same order. It's not higgledy-piggledy. It's very much like, so it'll depend on the show, like where I'm like, okay, you know what? I think we just want to go right to the scene, and then we'll put the slate last for everybody, or we do the slate first because they're so into the personality of the person and they want to know who the person is and the vibe check, that we'll put that first.
Right. Consensus I've gotten is separate slate because that gives you guys the creativity to put it where you guys want to, front, back.
Exactly.
It's an intro with the tape, or so I've been told. Yeah, I guess it's like a long slate is what I would assume it is.
Okay.
And I guess that's a question because I also want to ask that. What's your thought on like fun, goofy, like if the content, if the show asks for slates? Like I personally like to do stupid slates. When I say stupid, like funny, you know, because I just think a slate is like, if it's like, hi, my name is Fredy as Danny, I'm 5'10", is like boring. So if it's a comedy, I'm like, hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Fredy as Danny. Hope you guys like it. Bye. Like something like that. Is that a turn off? Is that fun? Do you like that sort of thing?
It's not a turn off at all. It's like you have 5 seconds to say your name, where you live. Hey, it's like you're literally saying hey to the creator of the work.
Yeah.
So everybody has that tiny little opportunity to do whatever they want there. To say, hey, my name is, I really dug it. Here's why, blah, blah, blah. Let's go on. Like everybody has their own. And then there's other people who are going to just be behind the work, and they're not going to want to reveal their personality. There are people who are going to want to, but you just have your own platform to do and say whatever you want for that.
Perfect.
So yeah, wake us up, invite us in, make us remember you. Let us know you have a point of view.
100%.
Let us know you're excited to do it.
100%.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian, what's up, buddy? Brian Quintero. Do you have any workshops available for actors? I know some casting directors do this. Was just curious. Smiley face, sexy pose.
I don't do a lot of workshops. What I do is on every single project I work on, I open myself up to see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of actors read for roles. And honestly, even if they're not right for this role on this project, I'm still using the opportunity to see your work. And I'm trying to see your work. Even if you're not right for this, I'm seeing your work. I'm seeing how you show up. I'm seeing how you put it down. I'm seeing what your approach to things is. You're letting me in, and I'm banking all that information. So I'm not personally doing workshops all the time, but I am sitting and watching hundreds of audition tapes, no matter what project I'm working on. And I'm making sure that I'm open to anyone who will come through the door. I'm just open. So,
perfect.
You know, I think you want to try and get an audition from me more than go and see me at a workshop.
For sure. And I think to Brian's point, it's a lot. Some casting directors are harder to see than others. Obviously, you're less open to newer people, but from what it sounds like is you're always open to seeing and hearing from new talent, which is great. And to your point, I want to just echo the fact that no audition is a wasted audition. I've heard actors be like, this isn't me, I can't play this, blah, blah. First of all, that ain't your job to decide, because we got people who are in that position, such as Nicole, who says, hey, this person fits. Yes, bring them in for an audition. So I feel like if you're taping for something, it means you have a shot at that part, because they wouldn't waste that space on you. The second thing I want to echo is, like what Nicole said, was if you're getting an audition, even if you don't feel like you've matched that part, it's a chance for you to showcase your chops to a casting director.
Yeah.
Who will then call you next. Instagram comment from JD Sursley Official. Can't wait to work with you. Love your vision. Do you know who JD? There we go. We're going to wrap it up, guys, because we only have about 8 minutes or so, and Nicole has got dinner to eat and food to grow. So we are going to ask a few other questions, Nicole. The first being, we all have thoughts about the Canadian industry. And, you know, I personally have a little mini gripe. I love Canada. I love our little country. Well, big country, small country. I do think we're lacking a star system here. I think our industry could be better. But the question for you is, what would you like to see better? Is there anything you think could be done to put Canada on the map or raise Canada's platform as an entertainment business?
I feel like I'm doing this all the time in my small little way, in my small little corner. I mean, first of all, just getting into casting is my activism. Trying to see some sort of changes in representation. I had a brilliant, beautiful stint working at Toronto International Film Festival on the Rising Stars program. Nice. And I was given the baton to create and curate what I thought the star system could kind of look like in Canada. And I'm so proud of the actors that went through the program when I was there. And to me, what they're doing now is they're multi-hyphenates, which are the types of artists that I'm really drawn to. I'm just really drawn to people who are doing multiple different things in the industry. So, I mean, I feel like I'm doing that. I've also moved from casting to producing. So I'm constantly looking for opportunities every time I work to increase equity and representation, but in front and behind. Like if it's not in front on a show I'm working on, then I'm trying to do it from behind. I'm trying to lift people up from behind the camera, or I'm trying to do it in front of the camera. And I'm just working my little steps through very authentically and organically to try and find people that are like-minded and who want to see the same things as me, which is like a very robust and sustainable industry for lots of different types of people. So yeah, I personally feel like that is what motivates me all the time to do everything I'm doing. And I apply it everywhere I go, no matter what I'm doing.
Nice. Amazing. Well said. Last question, and then we're going to let you go. Single tier. We all have mentors, people who have raised us up, given us the support, given us that boost. Who is your mentors, and why?
My mentors when I thought about who my mentors are, they tend to be multi-hyphenates. So they're artists who are using their activism and their artistry in the industry. So they're combining all those three things. And so I've looked at and followed the work of Cassandra Koulakundis, who's P.T. Anderson's casting director, also a producer. Lisa Brayman Garcia, casting director, also a director and an acting coach. George Tillman Jr., director, producer, executive producer. I'm very interested in people who are using all the spaces that they have access to make the industry sort of healthier overall. So it's like, even, some of the people I mentioned I know, and some of the people I mentioned I don't know, but I still use them as a benchmark to keep going and to just keep going on the pathway that I've been on. Nice.
Amazing. Nicole, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations. I know Kelly wants to say nice choice on mentors. Thank you, Kelly. I know we showed some of your older projects, but I know you got a lot of projects on the go, like we said. Congratulations. You have some really big stuff. Do you want to mention anything that you're working on currently or that you're really proud of that's coming up, or is it fresh?
I'm always proud, but I'm just super proud of a new Netflix series that's going to be launching next year. I did 2 BET Plus television movies that I loved. They were so much fun. I'm like, yes, more of those. And then 2 independent art house genre movies that I cannot wait to see how they turn out. So I personally have been very busy, and I'm looking forward to a tiny little moment of being in the garden for a few weeks and then revving up for TIFF in September.
Nice. Ladies and gentlemen, Nicole Hilliard-Forde, you guys heard it here on eBoss. You heard the preferences. Make sure you guys take notes, put your separately. Make sure you guys do some script supervision, script deep diving, do a little homework when you're taping for her, and keep your eyes peeled and keep your inboxes on refresh. That's what I'm doing because I'm going crazy as an actor. I need work. Oh my God, somebody hire me, please. I'm just kidding. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was eBoss Entertainment 411. Thank you so much, Nicole. Please, if you ever feel like joining us again, please do. You did great tonight. And thank you to the audience for being so engaging, guys. Keep up the commenting. We love it. It helps the show be more interactive so I don't ask the same boring-ass questions every time. You guys are the show. This is Entertainment 411. Good night, everybody.